There might be occasions where a client wants to access their own information from you. If an individual makes a request for personal information, this comes under Privacy Principle 6. Your first port of call should be to your agency's privacy officer. It's part of the privacy officer's role to deal with requests made under the Act. If you're the privacy officer, before processing the request, there are some things to consider. Firstly, is the individual requesting personal information? Personal information is defined in Section 2 of the Act as meaning information about an identifiable individual. So, if it's about your organisation, for example, then it wouldn't come under the Privacy Act. If the person is requesting their personal information, do they require any assistance with making the request? Under Section 38 of the Act, it is the duty of every agency to give reasonable assistance to an individual who wishes to make an information privacy request. The next thing you need to find out is whether your agency actually has the information. If it doesn't, and you don't know which agency does have it, then let the requester know that you don't hold the information. If you do know which agency has the information, then transfer the request to that agency and tell the requester you have done so. If your agency does hold the information, then ask yourself if you can make a decision about the information request within the timeframe set out in the Act. The Act specifies various timeframes for responses to personal information requests. If you can't meet these timeframes, then there are extensions available, but these need to be reasonable in the circumstances. Your next step is to ask if you're going to release the requested information, or do you want to withhold all or some of it? There may be an important reason that you want to withhold the information. You will need to check that this is one of the good reasons for withholding information under Sections 27 to 29 of the Act. Some of these reasons include that disclosure of the information would be likely to endanger the safety of any individual, the information would involve the unwarranted disclosure of information about another individual, or if after consultation with an individual's medical practitioner, you think it would be likely to prejudice the physical or mental health of the individual. If you don't have a good reason that's included in these sections for withholding the information, then you need to consider how to provide the information. For example, are you going to let the individual inspect a document, or will you give them a copy? Secondly, consider if you want and are able to charge for the information in accordance with Section 35. And finally, make sure you inform the requester of their right to request correction of the information. For more information about correcting information, check out Principle 7. Then you're set to release the information. Make sure you do so without undue delay.